Triathlon fans, how's it going? Ryan here, SethBaseTriathlon.com. We're doing some quick tips, and we're going to talk about riding flat bike course. Now, a lot of people want to say, okay, flat and fast bike course, but just because it's flat doesn't necessarily mean it's fast, because if you're not trained and you're not going about it the right way, you could end up actually spending more energy trying to chase speed and then pay for it on the run. So these are quick little tips. I know I'm showing it says Try Tip Thursday, but we'll remove that part and we'll just have me on here. And we're just going to talk about tips of riding a flat bike course. So train like you race in the aero position. So flat bike course is only as good as how aerodynamic you can be, because basically flat, you either got headwinds you're going to have to deal with, side winds, crosswinds, or anything like that. If they don't really have headwinds, just the aerodynamics of overcoming the wind. That is going to be your biggest factor, especially when you get closer to 20 miles per hour. It becomes more, I think 89% of your energy is overcoming wind drag. So if you can't be in the aero position for extended periods of time, it's probably not going to benefit you, and especially if you're 7.3, you're at the 4 Ironman distance. You're just going to have problems overcoming that wind speed. So you got to make sure that you are able to hold that position for extended periods of time. So be aero, be faster. Know your target zones, whether you're using heart rate, whether you're using power, or perceived effort. So a flat course, usually you can peg a power percentage. Now you're going to take into account wind and all that other stuff. Heart rate, whatever you're going by, perceived effort. So if you're racing half or full Ironman and your target is the low zone 3 or high zone 2, know what that is for power, for heart rate, or whatever. Power is good because it takes into consideration if you've got wind that you're trying to overcome. If there's a headwind or something like that, you can kind of compensate for that, and you can see your power, your absolute power, based on whatever you can output, whatever your headwinds or tailwinds, whatever you're doing, perceived effort. So if you don't know, if you're just going out there and you're just going like, I feel good, I'm just going to kill it, and pound it, and then you turn and you hit a headwind, and then you get killed, and then you hit the run, and you're just going to be totally dead. So if you don't have a strategy, you can't just go out there and just try to kill it for the entire 56 or 112 miles. You'll end up paying for it on the run. So make sure that you know what your target is when you're out there. Don't just pedal to the metal the entire bike ride. It's not a time trial, because you do have a run after it, more than likely. Train like you race when you're out there on terrain if you can. If you're going to race go race a flat course. If you live in Kansas City like I do, and you're going out to Ironman Florida, the terrain's a little bit different, but I can find routes that are a little bit more flat and less hilly, so it simulates more, because on a flat course you can be pedaling the entire time, whereas I've got kind of more hills around me, so you can recover on the downhill a little bit more and then power up the uphill and keep the momentum. So if you're doing rolling hills but you're going on a flat bike course, you're not going to get that recovery. So 112 miles of pedaling in Ironman Florida is going to be different than an 80-mile bike ride here out in Kansas City, because we've got rolling hills. Contrary to popular belief, Kansas is not all flat. So make sure you're training on terrain that's going to be similar to how you're going to race. Or if you're doing it on your trainer, you can find plenty of courses like Ruby, AR. You can go on Zwift and just find the courses that are similar to what you're going to ride. If it's flat, you go to the Tempest Fugit and Watopia on Zwift, and you're just riding a flat course all the time, and that's what you're doing. So make sure you're training on the terrain like you're going to race. Don't be a robot. Be ready to adjust when needed. So wind could be a big factor. Weather, if it's raining, a situation like that. Just make sure that you're not just, I train this way, and I'm going to hit 175 watts for my entire ride. I'm not going to change anything, no matter if I've got a tailwind, a headwind, crosswind, or whatever. No matter if I get a flat or anything, this is what I'm going to do. Don't be a robot. Go out there and be ready to adjust on race day, because a lot of things can happen out there. Like I said, you get flats. The weather could change. It could be 40 degrees and 30 mile per hour wind gusts. If you're going out there and you're going with the mindset of, I'm going to still hit my power that I wasn't training, probably not going to happen. It's going to be a little bit defeating, and when you come to the run portion, you're going to be totally wiped out. So that's my quick little tips on going out and riding flat bike courses. You can't just go pedal to the metal. You got to have a little bit of a strategy. So hopefully this helps you out. If you did, give it a like if you're watching here on Facebook Live, and a thumbs up. Also give it a like if you're watching it later on YouTube, and put any comments in there if you think I missed anything or should add more stuff. And with that, happy training out there, and we'll see you at the finish line.